Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back for National Science and Mathematics Olympiad NSMO program. We're still in phase 1 in biology session. This is your instructor Muhammad Al Ali, and we're still in chapter 1 cell structure and function. Be tuned. We talked in a previous lecture the cell and we ended and we talk about our characteristics of living organisms and we ended, and today we will take some new subjects. Okay, here we are in lecture 2, cell theory and types of cells. Before entering a new content, let's recall the main idea from the previous lecture. So we talked about the concept of the cell and the types of cells with illustrative examples for each type, and the organizational levels in living organisms. And finally, we talked about the characteristics of living organisms such as organizations, growth, reproduction, response, acceleration, and adaptations. And this quick review is important because the cell theory is built on these foundational ideas. Okay, guys? So this is what we talked before. So, in this lecture, we will cover the cell theory, the types of cells with illustrative examples for each type. Now we reach the most important idea in today's lecture, cell theory. The cell theory states three key principles. The first one, the cell is the basic structure and functional unit of living organisms. We must have cell, and this is the main things for functional and structural. The second one, all living organisms are composed of one or more cells, unicellular or multicellular. Because of that, the scientists said the virus is not living organisms because it hasn't no cell. Okay. The third one, all cells arise from pre-existent cell through cell division. Like us, we came from sperm and egg, and we like compound with zygote. This is the first cell existed for human being. Okay, guys. So basically, this theory did not appear suddenly. It was built gradually through scientific discoveries, especially after the invention of the microscope. So when the microscope discovered, all these come frequently. So let me ask you this question, guys. Do you think scientists immediately understood everything about cells when they first look under the microscope? What do you think? Of course not, because knowledge developed over many years. Okay, this slide explains the main characteristics of prokaryote cell, which are the simplest and oldest type of cells. And here are the keys points. And let's start with number 1, number of cells. And we know the prokaryote has only one cell, like bacteria. So we called it unicellular, meaning they consist of only one cell. The nucleus, the second one, they don't have a true nuclear, and because of that we see the DNA, it's appear in all cytoplasm. So in nucleus, they don't have a true nucleus. Their DNA is not protected inside a nuclear membrane. The third one, it's nuclear membrane, absence, no nuclear membrane. So there's no membrane around it, and as we said before, the DNA, it's on all the cytoplasm. The fourth one is presence of DNA. We can see the DNA directly in here. Look, guys, here directly in cytoplasm in a region called the nucleoid. Look here, if this is the DNA, and if this, sorry, the region here, this is the region surrounded. We called it nucleotide. Nucleoid. Okay. The fifth one, chromosome. So how many chromosomes it has? It only has single chromosome because it's only one cell. One cell. The other one, it's cell organelles. So the cell organelles lack membrane bound, such as Golgi, such as endoplasmic reticulum, such as mitochondria. They only have in ribosomes. Okay, and for examples for prokaryota here, bacteria, blue-green algae, we called it cyanobacteria. Okay, so you have also the diagram on the right showing typical bacteria cell with structure such as cell wall here, capsula, the red one, and flagellum, and ribosome inside it. Okay. So guys, let's talk now about different kind of cells, the eukaryotic cells. And the eukaryotic cells are more complex than prokaryotic cells. And let's talk about the first one, number of cells. Obviously, if prokaryota has only one, that we called it unicellular. Can be unicellular. It could be unicellular, guys, or multicellular. Unicellular, like yeast, only one, or animal cells, animal multicellulars. Okay. The second one is nucleus. Nucleus, look to the picture here, the figure. They contain a true nucleus which safely store DNA. So where's DNA? Inside here. Because of what? Because of that one, nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane is a presence. Okay. What about the presence of DNA here? The DNA we can found inside the nucleus, inside here, not floating in the cytoplasm like prokaryota. The chromosome, their DNA is organized into multiple chromosome, not just one. It's all multiple chromosome made of chromatin threads in nucleus inside here. The other one, the sixth one is cell organelles. So eukaryotic cells contain many membranes bound organelles, like what, guys? Mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome, and extra. So these organelles allow the cell to perform complex function. Examples for eukaryotics, many, like protozoa, fungi, plants, and animals. So let's compare between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells side by side. And let's talk first about number of cells. In a prokaryota, it's always unicellular. But in eukaryota, it could be unicellular or multicellular. Okay. The other one, it's nucleus. So in prokaryota, no true nucleus. On the other hand, in eukaryotic cells have a true nucleus because membranes bound nucleus. Okay, the other one is nuclear membrane. In prokaryota is absent, in eukaryota is present. And presence for sure for DNA here, the DNA in the prokaryota in cytoplasm because it's lack from nuclear membrane, and the presence of DNA in eukaryotics, it's inside the nucleus because it has nuclear membrane. Okay, chromosomes in the prokaryota, one circular chromosome, but in eukaryota multiple linear chromosome. Okay, and let's talk about organelles in a prokaryota like membrane bound organelles. In eukaryota, no, it's contain many membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and Golgi and extra. Examples here, for examples for your prokaryota bacteria, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, in eukaryota, protozoa, fungi, plants. We can say all the living things or all the living organisms, all its eukaryota, except what? Two, arc bacteria and bacteria. That's it. So the table helps us clearly see how complexity increases from prokaryotic to eukaryotic cells. This slide highlights the key features of a plant cell which help us distinguish it from animal cell. So first one, cell wall. It has cell wall. Look at it. That's the cell wall. So it's present. Nucleus positions here. Look, it's inside. Plastids, it exists to do photosynthesis. Centrosome, it's not existed because this is special for animal cell. Vacuolus, it's the large one in the center, the largest one on the center, and as you see it, okay? So, on the other hand, this slide shows the key features of an animal cells, helping us to compare it with plant cell. And let's begin with cell wall. The only kingdom in all living organism doesn't have cell wall, it's only animal cells. So cell wall, it's not existed in animal cell, and this is give it a unique features. So it's the only one doesn't have cell wall. In nucleus positions, here's it, is in central. Plastid, it's absent because we don't need it in photosynthesis. Centrosome, it's here. Look it, that's the centrosome to divide it, the cell. And vacuolates, it's small. It's not largest like plant because we not storage food. We consume food and probably save some waste. So this slide summarizes the key differences between plant cells and animal cells. And as we said, in cell wall, in a plant cell presence, animal cells it's absent. Nucleus positions here inside, here in central. Plastid, it has it because photosynthesis, this is not has it, it's absent. Centrosome, it doesn't appear here, it has it for divided the cell in reproduction of the cell. Vacuolates, it's large because it stored the food from photosynthesis. If here in animal cells, if it existed, it will be very small, okay? Because it's not storage food. If it's storage food, it will be small amount, but it can storage the waste as we said. So this is table help us clearly see how plants and animal cells differ at the cellular levels. Now we reach an important organelle, the ribosome. Okay, so the ribosome is responsible for protein synthesis. Without it, a cell cannot build enzyme, hormones, or any essential proteins. So ribosomes are found in two locations. Where is it? It will be free in cytoplasm, here, free, or attached to here, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Every living cell, and be sure, contains ribosomes because the protein production is vital for life. Don't forget. So this exercise helps us apply what we have learned. The question is, why is the bacteria cell described as a prokaryote? Okay, so first option, it does not have genetic material. B, it does not contain a cell wall. C, it cannot be seen with the naked eye. D, its genetic material is not surrounded by membrane. So let's look at each option. The first option, why it's not incorrect? Because bacteria do have DNA. Otherwise, they could not be survivor or reproduce. Okay. The second one, B, it's also incorrect. Why? Because most bacteria actually have a cell wall. So it cannot be seen with the naked eye. The third one, it's also incorrect because being too small to see does not make a cell prokaryotic, like yeast, like small fungi, like Euglena, Amobia, Promisium. We cannot say it by the naked eye, but we cannot call it prokaryote. So the last one, its genetic material is not surrounded by membrane, and this is the correct answer because in bacteria cell the DNA is free in cytoplasm because they do not have a true nucleus. Because of that, we see it here, the nucleic material. So this is the definition features of prokaryotic cells. You can see this is in the diagram on the right. Look at the DNA is located in a region we called it before a nucleus. Finally, guys, in this lecture, we covered the cell theory, types of cells, difference between the plant and animal cells, ribosomes and their function. So these form of foundation for upcoming lessons on one cell organelles. Thank you for your engagement and curiosity. See you in the next lecture. So long.